Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Saturday night. It is art night. Welcome to the Headmaster's Homeroom. I am Lady Hamilton. I hope you guys are all having a beautiful Saturday. We call it stress-free Saturday over in the corner. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm so glad to see everybody here. That is fantastic. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to say hello to all of our wonderful viewers tonight. Let's say hello to our Rumble viewers. So nice to see you guys here tonight and joining us for this amazing art night. Thank you guys so much for that. Hello to all of our ex-viewers as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me over there. I see you all. Make sure you guys say hello. And hello to all of our Pill viewers. Oh, you guys are so great with the memes. Nice to see you, Frosty and Claw. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing great as well. And hello to all of our YouTube viewers. So nice to have you guys all here tonight. Thank you guys for all joining me this evening. Let's do a little bit of homework, please, and hit those buttons. Please remember to hit those likes, shares. And I love it when you guys, thank you so much for helping to support the show. You guys can do that with your rants, your subscriptions, your cash apps, your pills in all those forms, and your tips. Hit those buttons, guys. Let's make these shows rock. I appreciate you guys so much for all of you do. All right. I'll tell you what, our friend, thank you so much. You guys, thank you for liking my hair. I appreciate that. And thank you guys for saying hello to me. That means the world to me. Our friend and our guest is all the way from Nigeria tonight, and hopefully he'll be able to log in without any problems. So you guys say some prayers, say some whatever, say some great things to make sure that we can get him in on the show quickly. I'm checking to see if we got any kind of complications that I'm not seeing any emails or anything like that. So, but when you're talking about international Artist Corner members, you know, we always want to make sure everything is going great with them. So I guess we will start and just chat. How's everybody's Saturday going? What are you guys up to today? Everybody enjoying that? Are you guys having, oh, hey, White Wings over there on Pill. Nice to see you guys. Saturday night, guys. So you guys are joining me over there. What have you guys been doing this Saturday? Have you been doing a stress-free Saturday? Have you been sitting in the hammock? Have you been enjoying the sunlight? Or have you been doing yard work? Let me know in the chats. I understand that it is a beautiful day outside most of our places. All right. Well, Frosty, you know, I sent you an email. You know, check on that. But I'll tell you what, even with our guest not here, we are definitely going to enjoy his artwork tonight. One thing I should talk about here too is I've been always talking about joining our community. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Our X community supposedly is ending today, everyone. They are going to get rid of communities over on X. I'm so sad to hear that. So sad to hear that. So when I always say follow me over here, let me throw this up here real quickly. This Artist Corner TS is so important because I'm not going to stop doing my Artist of the Day. I'm not stopping doing my art prompts of the day. That will go out on my main profile, and the Artist of the Day will be pinned on the Artist Corner TS profile. So even though I'll do a shout out, I've already been in practice. So if you guys are already following Artist Corner TS, that is our gallery now, our new community. And I'm doing everything I can to make sure that Artist of the Day is pinned, although we have a message right there, both in our community and over on Artist Corner TS, to make sure you guys know to give it a follow and to remember those tags. Whether you put it into your actual post or you tag it underneath, make sure you guys do that so I can see that and I can share you not only through the Artist Corner gallery, but I can share you out on my main profile, because with the algorithm going, I don't always see your work. And when I started the community, I would have to look for you members and go through all my follower list just to see what you guys were putting out there. And Lady Hamilton just doesn't have all that kind of time. You know, we've got 200-300 followers already over there on Artist Corner TS. So just do me a favor, hashtag it, do at Artist Corner TS, or the very bottom underneath your picture, you can say tag people, and make sure you guys are doing that as well. I did put out posts for instructions. I'll continue to do that, but just letting you guys know that if you're over there on X and you want me to share your work, which I love to do, make sure you guys are following and tagging Artist Corner TS. So I really appreciate that very, very much. All right, let's see. Oh, you worked outside today. You did laundry. You guys ain't getting, that's funny. I know I had to do some shopping as well today. So man, I know, what a day, but it was beautiful. Hopefully you guys got out in that wonderful vitamin D and got that amazing sunlight today. It's so beneficial for our health. Isn't that right? Yes, it is. Oh, you did a lot. I just finished mine. I'm so glad to see you guys. Well, I'm just going to throw this up here so you guys can see your responses. I know that I'm saying it, but we're so glad to have you, everyone. Right? I love it. I love it. I do have an announcement on Wednesday. If you're a Pilled fan, I don't know if you guys are following over on Pilled, but there is I was invited to be on a show with Coffee Talk with Sandra. So this Wednesday night, there's a special interview with Coffee Talk with Sandra, which I am the guest. So you guys, I think it's only on Pilled, but I'll make sure that you guys, if you're my Pilled viewers, you guys make sure you join me Wednesday night at 7 p.m. for Coffee Talk with Sandra. All right. So our guest tonight is supposed to have been David the artist, and a wonderful artist from Nigeria. I'll tell you what, there are some amazing artists that are coming out of Nigeria, and I'm really happy to know them and see them. And I've had a few on our show. We have a few more lined up. Obviously, something's going on with David, but he's an international pencil artist, a diplomat, a mural designer, and a passionate creative voice, and he's from Nigeria. Known from his pencils as a pathway to see and interpret the world, David brings powerful storytelling, culture, and emotion to every piece he creates. From detailed pencil portraits to large-scale murals, David explores the many dimensions of art while inspiring others through creativity, vision, and global connection. So I guess we will look at it, and I will be leaning on you guys to be part of the conversation with me, right? Don't leave me here alone to talk about wonderful art, but this is where you guys can give him a follow. Super excited about his artwork. And so I'm just going to give me 1 second, guys. I hate when this happens. So we're just going to say, I'm just letting him know. Okay. Just letting him know. Hope you're okay. Right. So I'm sending him out. Okay. All right. Well, Frost, if you want to join me, you're more than welcome to. I sent you an email. If not, we're going to continue on with that. What are you doing? You're fitting a mammoth ivory saddle on a guitar. Oh my gosh. And power lurking claw. That sounds awesome. That is so awesome. So I'm glad you guys are doing something creative. Yes, on this beautiful Saturday. Okay. So, all right, here we go. I was doing this, and you guys can let me know in the chat. I was doing this friend kind of thing where I would tag my friends and we make funny little pictures to go with your personalities. If you guys would like me to do that again, I did get a few people that didn't necessarily want to do that, so I kind of stopped. But it was really fun because it was called the Friend Bus or the Friend Train or whatever. It was really, really fun. And we would just make really great little kind of things. So this is what I remember David as. You'll see where this is a connection. David loves to do a lot of art, and he does it through numbers. And the only thing I never saw with David was number 1. So this is why we did a little meme for David and as number 1. So we thought that was fun. One of the things I also really love about David is he is always putting out these great things about being an artist. And I think it's one of the things besides his amazing work that really caught my eye, because I love his little posts about the wonderfulness about being an artist. And this is one that I saved from him. It says, I am an artist because I can say 1,000 things without using a single word. So that's awesome. Everybody, welcome to the stage, my amazing, amazing friend and moderator, Frosty the Pimp.
Hello.
Thank you, my friend, for joining me tonight. And so I don't have to sit there and hang out all by myself. So I appreciate it. We can sit here and geek out and talk about David's work together. But
awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. You like this, huh, Cask? I do too, right? I think this is awesome. We were talking about this. I am an artist because I can say 1,000 things without using a single word. And that is so true about our artwork. It's just really amazing. So that's one of the things I really loved. David has these little memes that would just catch my eye about the beauty of being an artist. All right. Let's start with image number 1. So you guys don't know, David's a pencil artist. It just blows my mind when you see this almost like photorealism that's just coming out of pencils. We have a few artists in our group that are like this. And, you're like, what, pen or pencils, right? And you know who I'm talking about, Frosty.
Yeah.
You're like, what in the world, right? So I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, the pencil artists always amaze me, the level of detail they can get. I know I've never really tried anything to this level, but it just amazes me.
Right? Right. Oh, they're saying you're looking good, Frosty. Man, this is last minute, guys. So always can count on him to help join the show. Isn't it amazing? Because when I do pencils, I'm not really a person who draws. And when I do, it's like a really light sketch just to kind of get my bearings in. If I'm doing like my proportions, eyes go here, nose, lips, and so forth. And then I'm a painter, right? So everything comes up with painting. I don't know if you sketch out your landscapes or not, but to do a human and do it completely in this medium just is amazing. It's so much work that goes into this. It just blows my mind.
It is. It's amazing. I do nothing of this level. I sketch out compositions, but there's really no detail.
Right. Right. This piece is just so amazing because look, and what you guys might just see, but what you might not realize is look at the highlights on her under her eye, her forehead, her lips. I mean, it almost made. I mean, he's made it look like she's wearing glossy lipstick as well. I mean, to be able to accomplish that is just phenomenal. Right. I agree. The blending and the lighting. Absolutely. And I don't know if he ever uses any charcoal with this, or if this is just all pencil.
Yeah, it's really the way that they can bring out the shadowing and the light with the pencil. It's really a
Mm-hmm.
lot of skill.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, there's so much detail going on with this one just in its own right. I mean, the jewelry, the diamond that's hanging, from her heart, the little, the necklace too has this little, square little diamond kind of thing going on. That the details in this as well is just absolutely fantastic. Love it. It's a great piece to start with, don't you think?
That's a great one.
Right? Oh, you have to have good erasers and for highlights. So, and I don't even know about that too, because I would imagine, yeah, you would. I've heard about the power erasers that, Ron has talked to us about that before. I never even heard of a power eraser until Ron came on the show. I was like, what in the world is that? I'm
I
still
don't draw, but
frozen.
I want a power eraser.
I know. Because I still use the pink ones, that we used in grade school. I've got like a whole set of those, and that's my go-to. I mean, I have some that I use are smaller, whatever, but I had never heard of a power eraser, but that makes so much sense when you're really trying to get these highlights. So yeah, I want one too. Absolutely awesome. Love it. I agree with you, White Wings. Portrait art is incredibly difficult, especially if it's
Well,
somebody that's a real life person. When you're making up a person, I think it's a lot easier. It is for me, as I do faces, but only one that's is recognizable on purpose is the savior. But the rest of them, yeah, it's made up, so it doesn't have to be 100% perfect because it's made up in my mind, right? But I bet this one is not made up. Right? I agree. Getting the shadow on her left cheek just is unbelievable. Right? You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for participating in your wonderful comments and compliments. I appreciate that, guys, a lot. It's beautiful. All right, let's look at our next one. I really wish I knew who these people are.
I know.
But obviously, right? Obviously, they're people in his area. I don't even know. I've seen some that could be royalty. I mean, I just don't know, right? But just amazing, just amazing, right? To do numbers backwards and stuff, and that's another thing I want to ask David. And you guys will see that. I'm like, you've got a thing about numbers. Every one of us kind of has a signature, and there's some way somehow that he is really able to put in numbers in his work. And I was wondering, where that came with, but I guess we'll have to ask him in comments. I don't think this is David looking in the mirror. I've seen pictures of David. What do you think, Frosty? It
I don't
could
know.
be. What?
I don't think it's David. If it's pictures I've seen, it could be. But
Right.
I like the way that even though you don't know who these people are, you can kind of
Mhm.
perceive the character based on how good the drawing is.
Right. And it does say to my best buddy. So I'm assuming this is probably his best friend. Right.
Probably so.
I don't know. But
A
to
good
be able
friend
to
anyway.
go ahead.
I said at least a good friend anyway.
Right. Right. And it's just done so beautifully. I mean, to even slightly see his eyes through the sunglasses, to do the numbers backwards. Um, that's really interesting because it is. It's like looking in a mirror, and you would have everything being the opposite.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
great
That's
attention to detail. If you look at the glasses, you can see the darkness of the shades, but also catch a little glimpse of his eyelids.
right. It's amazing. It kind of
Yeah.
reminds me, in a little bit. I'm always fascinated with the sculptures, from marble that look like they literally have sheer coming over them, a veil or a sheer dress or whatever, and just what I mean. But you're seeing the details underneath. You're like, that's just kind of a real amazing thing that when people do that, whether it's in your artwork or it's in your sculpture, I thoroughly enjoy that.
Absolutely.
Oh, you guys are so I love that you guys are seeing details that I think we've trained them well, right?
Yeah.
Because Casca's over here talking about loves the inside of the hat, right? Look at all the detail that's just inside the hat. That is a great catch. Absolutely beautiful. Welcome, Sandal, over there on Pilled. Love to see you. Welcome to the show. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, now you guys get to see what I'm talking about. This is kind of one of the things that David has a set of that is like his signature. And that's why I want to ask him, like, why the numbers? And it's a very interesting take to be able to sit there and put a face and put it onto like a card that we're seeing, with a number in it. So part of it's there, part of it's not there, but we can kind of fill it in what's missing, but it's just really put into the shape of a number.
Any significance to the number in the drawing?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew. You guys were doing our best guess here. Right. And I love it on the side of the card, I be David. And it's 200. We got 200 here. So I don't know. That's kind of one of the things I was really wanting to know. But there's so much detail in this person's face, even in the hair and stuff like that. He's got a little bit of what's it called, Frosty? A little bit of a shadow, but you got a little bit of fine hairs down here. Just amazing, amazing detail. But I don't know. What would be your guess?
Um, Boy, I wish I knew, but yeah, like you say, the follicles, the skin pores. That's what amazes me, the amount of control you can have. I mean, I'd love to watch the people that can draw realism with pencils.
Mhm.
Um,
Right.
I'd love to watch it to get some insight because I think that would carry over a little bit in painting,
Mm-hmm.
but it really is a great skill to have.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And to be accomplished this too, because little things like here too on teeth. A lot of people, just think, oh, when you do teeth, you're just going to do these straight little teeth and whatever. And it's not. Our teeth are curved, and they may be perfect, they may not be. They might be all facing a certain way, but teeth are never ever just kind of like straight little squares, like you might see on a jack-o'-lantern or something, right? So to be able to accomplish that, to make them look real, and to add in all of that, the gum line and so forth, I think that's really a wonderful accomplishment in its own right.
Yes, definitely.
Right. I love it too. I love it, Cask. The facial hair and skin imperfections. I know. Absolutely. Absolutely. Amazing. Amazing piece. It's abstract yet realism. That's what it caught my attention. These are the first kind of things I saw from David when I first found him on X, and then I saw his other stuff too. But this kind of, because I was like, boy, this is really interesting to take something that's and do an abstract, but yet it's still realism inside of it. It's a really neat signature.
It is, and it just makes me wonder, like, somebody doing portraits, they have to be very good observers. And it makes me wonder, like, I look at landscapes different, even out in the real world, natural scenes, that I look different in a painter's perspective. I wonder if he looks at people, or the portrait artist look at people differently.
Right. And you would think so, because then he has a picture like this that, it got like that nose is absolutely real, and it's just like, what's going on here? See where the mustache is going, but yet is completely abstract.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this means, because you can see obviously this is something to do with Christianity, and you're talking about the king, you're seeing the cross here, you're seeing the beautiful sun in the eyes. Maybe this is something based off of their country, because we know what's going on in Nigeria right now. I don't know. Maybe even speaking that, I have no idea. But look at the abstractism in this piece in itself.
Absolutely.
What's your take on this piece?
Well, I think the best part about this is, like so many, is that each individual can discern his own message and not be wrong.
Right.
It would be interesting to have his perspective, but I think that he leaves it open to your interpretation as a viewer.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the things I like about, I always say when you go to, and I really encourage you guys, if you ever go to a museum or a gallery or whatever, a lot of times they have little, descriptions on the side, the title, maybe a little paragraph about it or whatever. Don't read those yet. Go and sit in front of a piece and get your own interpretation, because once you know what it's about, it might help you, might not. But certain pieces might really reach out to you and go, oh my gosh, this is what I feel when I see this piece. And nobody should take that away from you. You should have absolutely your own interpretation, and then go read it and be like, oh, was I right or not? But you know what I mean? Go be one with the piece of artwork. I love that too. Oh, you love this piece. That is awesome, because there is so much going on with this. There's so much that I can personally take into this piece, and I could be totally wrong, because, I see over here the King of Kings, and, the beautiful cross, and the sun, right? And then I see this person with a cross on their mouth. Like, maybe we shouldn't speak about religion. Maybe there's something going on right there. I mean, the guy in the middle, he could be, I don't know, right? Maybe it's good versus evil, or we can't speak about these things. I mean, there's certain things that you can see here in this piece, right? The road that's behind it. Go ahead.
I see that. I think that's the prominent that most people see. I don't think that's wrong. I think you could look and at the same time find a secondary meaning the next time you looked, and you'd probably be right on that as well.
Right. And, we can only interpret. And that's, the great thing about, I think, all our artwork is interpreting our own meanings. But I agree, White Wings, I think this piece is very cool. Very cool indeed. All right. He is also a mural artist. And that's another thing I loved about him we have in common. I have personally worked on murals when I was in my undergrad, and my honors thesis was a mural. I literally built a 5x12 wall, and then I tiled one side, and I did a mosaic, with my community. I had a little community service program there. So I put my logo on that. And then on the other side, I painted it with oil. So I can understand, that probably really, really pushed my real love for large art. But I've also painted trees on my houses before, and added a little punch to it, just a little silhouette going on here. So when I saw this, I was super excited, because it adds a little personality to your homes or in the environment, right?
I'd be so scared to do that.
Have you ever thought about doing that in your own house?
No, I'd be scared to do that. What do you do when you mess up?
Paint over it. You know, so when we were in Tucson for my undergrad, I totally did murals in my children's rooms, right? Because they all got their own rooms. You know, my daughters especially, they have. Oh, thank you so much. They have. The girls were sharing a room before I moved there, so they had their own room, and they all had their own signatures, or what I call them. My daughter, youngest, was a shooting star, and my oldest daughter was a rainbow. I've told that story before. And then my son loved superheroes. So I would paint these murals in their room. And we were only there for a few years before I moved all the way across the country to here to go to grad school, right? And you can't sell the house with that because, even the realtor's like, people want to imagine. And I had a silhouette tree in the living room. The whole house was geeked out, right? And she's like, you're going to have to paint over all of that because when a person looks at a house, they want to envision their own things. And I was like, oh man. And then I had to paint the whole entire wall over. So that's what you do when you mess up or you move, right?
This would make a great logo.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I love it.
It would make a great logo.
Right. Well, welcome, Jess Heat. Nice to see you over there on Rumble. Right. Oh, I know. I love the flowing movement of this piece too. I hope something like this completely encourages you guys because you can do something like this in your own homes, and it really brings in a little bit of personality. You can even get stencils if you're not, if you don't feel comfortable, I'm not really a great artist. They even have stencils that you could use. Projectors. It's another great thing to do as well too, but it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And then, if you have to move, then you just paint over it. Right. What do you say? Oh, right. The tree mural. Oh man, it's got such a beautiful feel. And I love the leaves on it. They're almost like fans, just absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys so much for continuing to comment on this stuff. That's awesome. Appreciate you guys. All right. Back to photorealism.
Wow. That's incredible.
Right? Isn't it? If you guys had bigger screen like mine, I almost would think that this is done on like a watercolor or textured paper. Because when you can see this on a larger screen, all of a sudden you see this little like I said, this little texture that's underneath it that's giving it almost this speckly kind of look to it. And I think adds a lot to this piece.
It's amazing detail.
Absolutely. Right? Oh, it's so nice to see you guys. Oh, I'm glad you guys are joining me and welcome all new viewers. Our guest tonight, if you're just joining, is from Nigeria, and I'm assuming there's something going wrong with the internet connection. So my great friend and moderator, Frosty's here to talk and help me geek out on this work with you guys. So welcome. I see new viewers over there on Pilled and on Rumble. So just saying hello. All right, Frosty. What is your favorite part about this? Oh my gosh.
I love the shadow underneath the chin. Well, there's so much. I love everything about this actually, but that's the one thing. He does such a great job with the shadow, and I know how important that is with pencil, and he just aced it.
Right? Has anybody noticed what's going on in the hair? I'm like, wow. I don't know if that's a hairband, but there's little pearls on it. I mean, it is just got so much detail going on right there. Wow. Absolutely amazing. I don't know how how he pulls off that gloss look. I mean, that has got to be some serious erasing, the lips. That's what I'm talking about. Look at the lips. It's like there's like a gloss on those lips. And to get those fine, super white highlights. I mean, either you got to block it out or you got to get that power eraser. But other than that, don't you just love her stare? She's like, She's looking over to the side, just almost like,
Side eye.
No, oh my gosh, no, Sandal. It's not Frosty's art. This artist is David the artist. He's from Nigeria. But thank you for thinking it's Frosty's art. Frosty is a landscape artist, everyone. He's just
And not
he's
near
just
this good.
no, oh no, he's awesome. Frosty is an amazing artist in his own right, and he's going to be on the show showing off his art at the end of the month, guys. So don't worry about that. But no, sometimes I like somebody to sit here and chat with me when my guests aren't here or there's something happened, and I could have just canceled. But this artist is amazing, and I felt like we still need to show them off. And like I said, when you're international, first of all, it's 1:00 in the morning there, and I don't know about the connections over in Nigeria, so why not sit here and geek out on some amazing work anyhow? You guys, what? Right? It's a small. Are those beads in her hair? That's what I'm thinking. Exactly, Gitten. That's exactly what I was thinking about. It's like some kind of hairband, or is it woven beads into her hair? And it just is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Love it. Absolutely awesome. Again, I really wish I knew who these people were. He's got several of these. And I was going to ask him too, like, do you got a full deck? Because I noticed he never had a number one. That's why we did the meme for him on our friends bus. But he started with 2, and I've seen it, I think, up to 9. And I don't know, right? But it is just a really interesting take, on an art style.
Can only imagine if maybe these are prominent people in Nigeria, maybe family members.
Right? Or
it really makes
right?
you want to.
Exactly. And why that number? What's the significance? There's got to be some kind of significance. So you guys, it's real important to go find him, David A. Artist on X, and you guys can ask him these questions because I'm going to be. He's like, what's the significance on the numbers? Because I want to know. Curious minds, right?
Right. We got to know.
We got to know. We got to know. Absolutely fantastic. And on this one too, on the right side of it coming through, can you see that the light beams are coming? Like this person is sitting somewhere with light kind of coming down on his face as well. So he's able to capture this light. Do you see that, Frosty?
Yeah, I do. And it's even on the card, not just inside the number.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. And I'm like, that's really awesome. That's a good one for, be the light.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Absolutely beautiful. All righty. We're gonna back to a quote while you guys are all looking at that last one. Your art is not a hobby. Your art is a calling. So we kind of learned a little bit about David and his viewpoints of art. I love it. He's always sharing out these memes. I think this is great. Your art is not a hobby, everyone. Your art is a calling. Do you feel that way, Frosty?
I think so. I think that
yeah.
I think that God gives us gifts, and that's a gift that you need to cherish, and then you work really hard to use that gift. And I think in a way it is definitely a calling.
I always say that's one of the greatest ways we can honor God is by showing off our talents or defining our talents, honing in our talents, any way you want to say about it. Kind of showing off is, I don't care if you're doing a pencil sketch and you start that way, next thing you know you're doing realism, because we all have it might not even be drawing, it might be woodworking, it might be embroidery, it might be music, but we're given these amazing gifts, and absolutely I think we need to shine through them. Okay, what did you say? You copied it from his X page. Okay, Cass copied something from his X page. Said started a series 4 years ago titled The Number Series. It tries to define the relationship between art and science and show how they both can work in harmony. This collection is up for collecting. So that is really interesting. Thank you so much. Cask is over there doing detective work for us. I'm going to throw this up here right now. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Cass.
Right? I love this guy. So he titled it The Number Series, trying to define the relationship.
Nowhere near what I thought. Couldn't have been more wrong.
Right? Art and science. I mean, I don't know. Maybe those are great scientists. Now I'm wondering, but art and science. I love that, and how they both can work in harmony. Thank you for doing that, Cass. We appreciate you. Speaking of it, number 4. I mean, this one might be really one of my favorites because you can really see the face very well in this one. I'm like, wow. Wow.
I wonder
Love it.
if it's not harder to do this with broken images of the portrait versus a full portrait. It almost seems like it might be, huh?
Right? I think it might be because, well, you know, I guess depending. Now, if you are just kind of doing like I would do for a painting, you know, and I'm just doing like, you know, it's kind of like a T, guys. Okay. And I like, here's where the eyes need to go. And then I do another little thing. Here's where the nose goes. And then I know where, you know, so I just basically am drawing that. So you might just be able to do the same kind of thing, but you're at a slant, like with this 4. Okay. Here's the plane, right? Here's where the eyes will go. But I don't know. I mean, it's a limited canvas. Also, you're limiting yourself to this block shape, you know, and so it's really interesting. I don't know. It might be harder. It might be harder. I would be afraid of going out of the lines, and that's where the power eraser would come in. Okay, in between the 4. Right. I know the nose parallels the triangle cut. Isn't that great? That's what I was saying about a plane. You know, it truly does. That you absolutely have everything just so perfectly aligned on this piece. There we go. I also want to wonder if this is the same person that we've seen in a different one. Is this the same? You know, maybe it's him. I'm going to have to go back. Hold on. Now that I'm seeing these, I'm like, I'm kind of wondering, especially when I see this, you know, with the stubble and the so forth, right? And the mustache. And then I go back to this one. Whoops, sorry, to number 4. Nah, maybe not. This one is so much more defined. So much more defined. You can definitely see that he has progressed really well. How long do you think it takes? Go ahead.
How far does this series go?
I don't know, Cass. Get on it. I don't know. And I've not seen all the numbers, you know? I mean, I've gone through a lot of his work on X, and I've not seen all the numbers either, because I don't know if he's got a 5 or a 7, you know? So it's just kind of, maybe he does, and he just chooses which ones to show. So she says it has to be more challenging, White Wing says, to keep the scale and symmetry of the face. I would think so. You know, I would think so. Very cool. Very cool. I agree. You're tired? You're going to go sit down? Okay, Sandal. Please do. All right. Fantastic work, though. And then this woman, I don't know who she is, but she is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, we've seen 2, 3, 4, and 6. That's right, Cask. And I don't know if I've got more up here. We will see. But isn't she rendered absolutely beautiful? You could see the velvet dress she's wearing. Her hair is absolutely marvelous, right? Look at her eyes. I mean, this woman is just absolutely beautiful. Can you believe this is pencil?
Like somebody famous,
right?
Like
Wow. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I would think so too. You know, I don't know who she is, but she does look like she was, you know, a model, somebody famous in his world. If he's lucky, maybe it's, you know, I don't know if it's his wife or girlfriend or whatever, you know, they're like, dang, David, you're a lucky man. Because she's just, but look at the shine of her hair, everyone. I mean, just the highlights in the twists and the curls and the turns, you know, the highlights underneath her eyes and in the dress. This is all pencil, everyone. Can you imagine the amount of work that you would have to do the dress?
Yeah. It's very skillful. I mean, it would take a lot of attention to detail. He's very good at it. So,
right? Wow. Just absolutely stunning is right.
The eyes are definitely
done. Huh?
The eyes are done so well.
Mm-hmm. It kind of does. White Wings is over here saying it kind of looks like Beyonce, or it does look. It kind of does.
I thought
Kind of
Beyonce and
does.
Mariah Carey.
Like a cross between them, because the
Yeah,
nose is not 100% like hers. The lips I
yeah.
think might be a little bit bigger, but the hair, right? Absolutely, I will give you that for sure. And she's just absolutely beautiful. I know she does look like a model. Just fantastic. But I just keep thinking about the deep areas of black and how much line work and pencil work and I've done colored pencil and just even doing like the background of my rose that was black. Just so much going over and over and over and over. And it still wasn't 100% like solid, right? And this looks like you can't even see, anything. It's completely solid. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Looks like a photo, black and white photo.
Mm-hmm. Right? My Troubled Days, welcome. If you guys missed the show last night, we just kicked off album number 4 with My Troubled Days. That was a great show. Thank you for being my guest. Nice to see you tonight. Our guest is not able to join us, so My Troubled Days, make sure you say hello to Frosty as he's co-hosting with me tonight in the wonderful world of art. Oh, absolutely fantastic. This one is, man, you guys may not know this. A lot of times I'm shooting Frosty an email. I'm like, choose. Because I highlighted David as the artist of the day, and we both were like, yeah, this one just really stood out. The details of this piece is phenomenal. Absolutely. What made you choose this one, Frosty?
I don't. It's all his drawings are great, but this was just such a high degree of difficulty. Looked to me like, and with the glasses and the hair and the braids, the skin, the shadows, the clothing. This one has a little bit of everything, and he just aced it, killed it. Hard not.
Right.
It was a hard choice, but it's hard not to choose this one.
Right. And it was a hard choice. There's so many amazing works from him, but this one, like you said, it was the whole dynamic. I was really drawn to this one as well too, and I was like, oh man, just look at it, like you said, with the glasses and the braids, so much of this detail. Like, wow. Right. Just so much detail. Yeah, I'm seeing that too. Oh, you saw it from his pin thing about that. Okay, I went to go look here too, right? She saw that with the series number. Oh, gosh, you're awesome. But isn't this phenomenal? Wow. I know. Oh, you can see through the glasses as well. Yes. Yes. Great. Cask. Man. Just so much detail. Rendered beautifully.
It'd be interesting to know how long it takes.
Right?
Go ahead.
Right? I would guess, it's always interesting that they always ask us, by the way. We get that question all the time. Hey, how long did it take you? Well, first of all, most of us have a life. And I hate to say that in a negative way, but we have jobs, we have kids, we have, a life. So we don't usually, we're not able to like sit down and complete this. If we can, that's a miracle. Right. But so you're probably talking just, I would say 100 hours, maybe that's too much. I don't know. Maybe less. He could surprise me like, oh, I kicked this out in like, I don't know, a couple days. And I'll be like, what? Doesn't it blow your mind when we have a guest on, Frosty? And they're like, oh, yeah, it took me a really long time. It took me 2 or 3 days. And I'm like, okay, I'm over here months into my work,
I feel like I understand the painting timeline a lot easier than I would a pencil. It's always
Right.
not having done anything so like this. So it's just interesting.
Right. I like that expression too. Deep in thought, reflection. I don't know what this piece is titled, but absolutely love the expression on face. Just amazing. And again, back to that deep black. And on the jacket, we saw it on the dress on the one before, and now we see it on the jacket. Just amazing. Love it. Absolutely love it. And I don't know. I mean, I could probably, Kath kind of gave me an idea. He might say something. I could go and look at his media. No way. Oh my gosh. Maybe we got him. Yes, we do. David.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm so glad that you joined us. Oh, that is really awesome. We are sitting there geeking out and talking about your amazing work, trying to guess your stuff. And I am so excited you're able to join us. I hope things are great in Nigeria.
It's very, very good. But our network, well, we are good.
Power. Oh, it's
Yeah.
good. It's good. Well, we have so many questions for you, my friend. We're looking at this beautiful, beautiful picture. First of all, is this a friend or somebody in your or a family member? This woman?
She is a celebrity. I
Celeb.
is is an is an actor, and is one of those people that I watched and I loved, and I just decided to do something as a commemorate to the kind of work that she does and how much I appreciate the kind of artist she is. Her name is Amanda Stenberg.
Amazing.
So,
She's beautiful. How long does it take you to do a drawing like this?
well, it depends. Something like this took me almost 2 weeks. But if
2 weeks.
I am doing, if I'm doing a commission for somebody, and it doesn't have to be so detailed, I in less than 3 days I can be done with something. But this particular one takes more time.
Yes. This is
Yeah,
phenomenal.
thank
Absolutely
you.
phenomenal. You're welcome. Oh my goodness. It is so great. I want to kind of go back a little bit here now that I have you. We wanted to know who she was. Is she another celebrity as well?
Now, now this one is a
She's
commission. This is a
oh,
commission
commission.
for some people. They wanted to celebrate their CEO, and they just thought that they needed something very outspoken, something that was very bold. And I saw this picture and it was just amazing to me. And I told them that I
Right.
was going to give them something very, very, very good. And I put all my effort into making it work. It took me time, but it was worth the effort.
Yes. Yes, it is. Oh my goodness. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, we just love your work. Ah, so beautiful, you guys. And so it's so great to come back and kind of look at a few of these and ask questions now. Now, I have a
Mm.
question about your number series. We have so many
Yeah.
questions before you joined us because you have a series. Is it how many numbers have you done?
I've done only for the series. I've done just three, but generally,
Just the three.
including special requests, I've done five. So the odd numbers that I've done are special requests, but all the even numbers are part of the series.
Right. That is awesome. Now, is there a certain reason, like for this one here, that you chose number four for this person?
Well, like I said, the although I've never really spoken about the idea behind the work. I had a conversation with somebody some time ago, and we were talking about how numbers and arts are supposed to collaborate, and it just came to me that sometimes they always say science and art. Maybe science is more elaborate or more difficult than art, and some people in art always don't want to accept that fact. So I just thought about
Right.
making something that balances both of them together. And I'm somebody that loves even numbers. So I just started with number two. What I did was pick the the music, the people that I would use, and I picked certain pictures for references to explain the story behind this particular drawings. Like this number four now.
Right.
This number four, I did it with the intention of talking about happiness, joy, peace. Somebody that
Mhm.
has the world at his beck and call. When you're feeling everything around you seems chaotic, but you just have that moment of peace, a moment of joy in your life. And as a human being, you just find those little things in your life that make you happy, those little things that give you joy. And I just saw his picture and the way that he was smiling, and I said, this would be the right picture to use for it. And it just was a perfect fit.
Nice. I love that. That's a much better explanation than we were over here guessing, huh, Frosty? I'm like,
Yeah.
joy with this piece. I love it. And
Good
you're so
morning,
right.
David.
Yes. Good
Good morning,
morning.
sir.
Glad that you could make it
Right.
at 1 o'clock in
Like,
the morning.
it was not easy.
I
I
know.
had to
Everybody
sleep.
give David some love. Yes. Well, we will, get through this. We were on to here because we didn't know some of these amazing people. So you get to tell us who we're looking at here.
Okay, this is my pastor. He he's a very, very intentional person. He's somebody that has helped me over the years. He's very particular about helping people. He wants to know what's wrong with you. He wants to know how he can help you, how he can reach out to you, what your problem is, and how he can solve it. So, when the opportunity came to do something for him, I just thought, why not just use my skill and make something to appreciate him? And I came up with this. I just saw one of his pictures that was really good, and I did something for him. That's what it is here.
Right. Oh, what an honor. You did so well on this. It is absolutely marvelous. I for looking at your other work too, when you do black, I mean, just how much time it goes into just doing the black parts, like the jacket or the hair or the tie,
Mm.
because and all of this is done with pencil, right?
It's done with pencil.
Wow. That is so much beautiful work. Lot of time into this, but look at the highlights, you guys, on his face and on the jacket. I mean, right? The forehead and just his expression. He looks like absolute man of God. Absolutely beautiful. I
It's
bet he
incredible.
was excited.
He was very excited, very, very excited. And I presented it in church.
I bet. I bet it's framed and he's all excited showing that off. It
Yeah,
is absolutely phenomenal. Hmm.
thank you.
What a great gift, guys. You're welcome. If you are an artist out there, it is truly a great gift to give somebody, a piece that represents them or whatever. That's just amazing. I think he looks so kind. I agree. I think he is just fantastic. And
You
each
have an
piece probably
Very,
go ahead.
gift.
Go ahead,
I,
Frosty.
you just have an incredible gift. The realism and amount of detail you put into it. It's just a
thank you
blessing.
very much. Yeah,
You're welcome. You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
You're welcome. We love it. It's amazing. And the intensity, right? The intensity of his gaze. Exactly. He's got something on his mind, and that is healing souls. And like you said, he wants to know how you are, right? And what's going on with you. I see that he's a very involved pastor. Fantastic. David, marvelous. Now tell us about this. This is the kind of the second one we looked at. And you frame it. Some of them you framed with like a red backing, and I don't know if that has a significant or you just love the contrast between the red, white, and black.
No, the red is my board I used to draw. But initially, when I draw, I usually don't like snapping directly to have a
Hmm.
full frame. I usually like doing weird kit. I bend, I snap, I shift focus, and then I snap. So that's why this one came out like this. But
I love it.
this particular one, this one was something I wanted to do for a friend, but then he has a story. He had a story that I just wanted to blend in with it. And I did this while I was in university because somehow I felt somehow caged. I felt disconnected a bit. And this work just showed how growing up, becoming an adult is quite different from when you are a child. It just tells you how hard life can be, how difficult things can be, how
Mhm.
secluded it can be sometimes because I tell you, you can lose friends, you lose people along the way. Sometimes you're in your own space and you don't even know how to speak up. You don't know how to say things. You don't know how to express yourself. You just you just feel locked up. You feel tight. And this work, with the way I shaped the face inside this box, it just shows
Mhm.
that caginess in the adulthood. It shows that caginess in the succession of growth and the way we just grow up and we have to do so many things. We have to keep ourselves in a place where we need to feel happy, but we are still running away from responsibilities. So this person was my best friend, and I just used her as a reference point to make this work.
I love it. And I love the meaning behind it, right? The way you framed it to really include that message as well, of being inside of that box and the things that we have to do. And this is really beautiful. I just think it's awesome. And I love it that how you've outlined it and add this kind of shape. It really highlights your message. And I think that's fantastic. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. So unique. I love that you've got your own style. You stand out, and that's really good in the art world, I think, is when you do stuff that's like, with your numbers or this, you've got him framed, you got him inside something. It just really makes it stand out, your artwork stand out, because even though you see that you got the framing around him, I think it makes you look at him more, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Wow.
Okay.
Now, do you got erasers? How do you get these beautiful highlights?
At first, um, I started with normal erasers, and I had to get a monogram. These foldable erasers. They're like mud free, so I use them
Motor.
sometimes. And I
Right.
graduated to the pencil erasers. Those ones that are like the manual erasers that are like pencils. So I use those sometimes. But at this, when I did this work, I hadn't gotten that yet. So I was still using the foldable eraser. That's what I used to
Right.
do. This.
Nice. Yep. We got to invest in a motorized eraser, Frosty. I'm telling you, that's where it's at.
I want
And these
one.
have
Very
four
good.
different directions.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah, it's
amazing.
really a
Absolutely
gift for almost making you feel what the subject is through the expression.
right. Amazing. I love that. And I just, I love your board, by the way. I think that red actually enhances it too. I love that
It
picture.
gives you more life, you know. It gives you more life. Is bright colors help to make things more beautiful. It gives it a better picture. It gives it good motion and everything.
That's right. That's right. Right. It makes you, it just pop. And it's just amazing.
Yeah.
You do such a great realism. What do your friends say, David, when you're done with something like this and they're like, dang, you know?
They all want one, but they are not willing to pay. That's the problem.
Right? Oh,
That's
I
the
understand that. I know. I truly understand that. Oh, I bet they line up. When did you start drawing? Is this something you've done all your life?
Mm, not all my life. I started when I was in secondary school. I think
Mhm.
around 2016. But I used to draw only caricatures. I drew cartoons, I did lifeless work, and it was around 2019, 2018 that my cousin, my cousin older than me, he
Mhm.
came and met me, and he was like, I could do better than this. And I come from a family where a lot of us here we are artists. I have older cousins, I have junior cousins that draw too. So he was like, I can actually improve and I can go into real life drawing, human drawings and all that. So he came
Right.
and he just gave me one lesson. He showed me what I needed to do, the way I needed to start. At first, he said I should use my phone, and then I highlight from a picture that's on the phone. So I put a paper on the screen, and then
Hmm.
I draw from the picture on the screen, and then I get my highlighter. Then I bring it out, and then do the little things that I need to do. And from there,
Wow.
I just began improving. He also helped me. He got a few materials for me, and I just kept going myself from there. I kept watching videos, doing things here and there. Sometimes I go back to him to ask questions, and from 2019 till now, that's just
Right.
the progress from 2019 up until 2026.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
And so, there, but you said that, you come from a family of artists too. And there seems to be a lot of art going on in Nigeria. And I know that it's, a big country, but it seems like the art scene, and there's a lot of great artists that are coming out from this area, everyone. And you guys, you all have your own specialties, but it just blows me away how wonderful the art world is in your country. I love to see that. I love to see them promoting arts and having so many things from school and so forth on, and your family and stuff to inspire you and to keep pushing you to greatness. That's awesome.
Yeah, and the thing is,
Absolutely fantastic.
like before now, with art here in Nigeria, it has not always been something that people really pay much attention to. It's just been a space where the growth of artists and the appreciation from people outside has just given people here the notion and the acceptance for the work. And now they begin to see the importance of art and the reason why people have to even pay to get art, because sometimes you speak to these people here and you tell them about your art. Sometimes you give them prices, you give them the cost, and you tell them how much effort you've put into the work, because they always want you to explain why you would cost your work so much if it's just pencil. For them, it's just pencil. Sometimes they say it's just painting, it's just a brush and whatever. So you have to give
Right.
explanations. You have to tell
Hmm.
them the way you work, the things you do, the efforts, the time you put in, the cost of your materials and whatnot. But with the way that appreciations of the art from outside and the way that artists here in Nigeria are getting recognitions, even within and outside, is giving the people more ideas and more acceptance to the work and the value of it actually.
Yes. That is amazing. And I have been inspired. One of my favorite artists in the world. In fact, I take a little bit of her into my own work. Is Najika? I'm hoping I'm saying this right, but it's Jadeka Crosby. I don't know if you know who she is. And she came to school over here in the states, and here in the United States, and she's just phenomenal. And she does big mural size pieces. But she takes, her mom worked in the Senate, or whatever you guys call that, and she took your native cloth and so forth, and she would put it into her work, and she's just phenomenal. And I was like, that was my first introduction into Nigerian artwork and artists. And then next thing I know, I just sometimes I think I hunt you guys out because I'm like, wow, 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 look at you guys go. It's
Yeah, they
amazing,
do very good.
amazing how, right. Now, tell us about this
Yeah,
piece, because somebody already asked if this is a photo. This is not a photo, everyone.
it's not a photo. This one is mine personally. I took a picture of my eye, and the title of this work is God's Eyes. It's just a representation of God seeing the world through our eyes. And I just used it as an example. I used myself as an example to show the importance of the eyes God has given to us and the value of what we actually take in, the things that we show, the things that we see, and the things that we allow ourselves to see, because these eyes that God gave us are very important. They are not for consuming bullshit, they are for consuming the right things, you know, and we are supposed to appreciate the value of our sight. So that's why I titled it God's Eye, because it's God seeing the world through our eyes. So this is my personal eye, and this is a drawing, not a picture.
Right? And I can see that because I can see the detail inside the eye. You guys, have you seen that?
Yeah.
Right? The reflection, and there's so much detail. It's more than even a reflection. I guess it is a reflection, but there's so much detail going on in that eye, in the iris, I should say. It's beautiful. It's like a whole world, like you're saying, God's seeing us through, through this eye. Just beautiful. Wow. Frosty, you got anything you want to ask on this?
I mean, it's incredible. Like you said, the one thing that stands out to me is the eyelid. Look at all the detail and texture in the eyelid.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of work, yeah. It's just time, effort, and all that. When I was drawing this, I had to go back and watch a couple videos because it was my first time actually drawing an eye, and sometimes I just pick those parts of the body that seem to give me difficulties, like the lip, the eye. And at that time, I was having difficulties drawing an eye. So I just picked this picture. And then I went and watched some videos about how to create depth with the eyelids and the frame of the eye. So I watched the videos and I came back and I just took my time. This took me almost 3 days or so. And I completed it. So
Oh,
that's what you're seeing here.
wow. Wow.
Amazing.
Right? Oh, I know. I was kind of cracking up on that too because I'm like, that's to me, that's so fast. That is so fast,
Mm.
but so beautiful. I love it. It's for so much detail, so much realism. Wow. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Right. It's first time I know, right? He is fantastic. Yes. And you can see the moisture in the eye. I agree, guys.
Mm.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And we're going to ask him at the very end if he's got a favorite piece. But let me grit this one up here. So many. Thank you guys for your comments and compliments. We sure do appreciate it. Everyone who's watching, thank you so much. Here is another one
Thank you.
of your beautiful cards. Tell us about her.
Okay. Yeah. And this one now was this, like I said, the odd numbers are usually special requests. This one is a special request for my friend. She was
Mm-hmm.
like the most important person for me in my university days. She's, she's almost closer to me than even a sister. She became somewhat of a sister to me in school. So, and she comes from a royal family. Her dad was a her dad is a king. Her dad was a king because she's lost her dad. And I I wanted to appreciate her for who she was in my life and how much she had helped me. So I made this piece, and you see the crown there, just an expression of her royalty and the fact that even as the last child in the family, she just stands out. She's exceptional. She has great qualities. She's funny. She's very bold. She's outspoken. She doesn't know how to keep quiet. She doesn't know how to have a dull moment. Even if you are the shyest of shy people, around her you must be active. Your body, you have to just feel the energy, and she always knows how to light up a room. So I just made this piece to appreciate her and show the importance of and the value of her royalty, and how somebody that's of that kind of background can bring herself to a an arena where they're just normal people or people of just normal backgrounds, and she just blends in, and it doesn't she doesn't try to put herself above anybody. So that's what this is.
Wow. Excuse me. That is amazing because you're right. Royalty doesn't go to the normal universities. They don't go hang out with the normal people, right? So to do that and
Yeah,
just have a personality that lights up the room and friendly and loving towards everyone, that is how it should be. And so I'm really glad to hear this story. She's beautiful.
in real life,
Beautiful. Amazing. And I really love this piece too, because a little bit is breaking out of the number, but and I like that, because we were going to ask, how hard is it to keep yourself confined in the shape of a number? Is it more difficult to draw something where you have to put the face in the number, or is it harder to draw an actual, like a portrait?
it's more difficult putting the face in the number because you have to highlight the important aspects of the face so that when you're capturing the person's face, there are still recognizable parts to it. If you're drawing a full drawing, somebody sees it. If they know that person, they would immediately know that, okay, yes, this is this person. But with the
Right.
numbers here, if there are no highlighted features from the person's face, somebody might not be able to recognize who the person is. So what I do is, first of all, I look at the number I want to draw. I draw the whole face, and then I put the number over it. And then every other part that's not necessary, I clean it off, and then I shade, and then give the highlights within the number that I've drawn. So
Wow.
the process.
That is, yeah, that's a lot more work than I was thinking too, you guys. He draws the entire face,
Yeah.
then the number, and then erases and subtracts what he wants. That's unbelievable. Wow. I'm like, just wow. Right? Oh, that is so cool. Now, did you show her this? What does the princess think?
She loves it. I gave her a, because I like to keep the originals for myself because I believe one day I want to put them in, I want to showcase them in a museum or something. I want to do a showcase of all the
Yes.
numbers together, get them on auction or something. So what I did was I gave her a replica of the work. I sent one across to her. She absolutely loved it. I gave her, I put the work with a note, just to appreciate her and show her her value in my life. And she was excited. She cried. Because
Oh, that is awesome. That's what you're talking about. That genuine love, and not that higher than thou, kind of attitude, snobby. You know what I mean? That she's just real, and I think that is awesome. Wow, just amazing. Just love it. Just this is so awesome. I just think this is so great. And I was wondering about that. We were all kind of wondering about that, you know. But this is just fantastic, David. Just fantastic.
thank you.
Now you do murals too. We looked at your tree earlier.
Hmm.
And so tell us about your mural work.
Well, I'm still new. I'm still new as a mural artist. I've only done two professional jobs. The first one I did on a whim. I didn't even have an idea about what it was. So a friend of mine just called me over. She was painting a house and she needed an artist to just come and give her a a design on the wall. And I think I sent one over. That was a tree design on the wall. That was the first one I done. And
Right.
a friend of mine saw that one that I did. And I reached out to him. I was like, I've done this thing before. Let me tag along so that I can show you the level of
Right.
my work. And I did this last year, December. So I tagged along a friend of mine and we went to somebody's house. He was just getting his building done. So this is a new house, this is a new space. And he wanted a game room. So this is just an expression or a design that defines the room, defines the space, and just tells you what kind of thing they want to do here. This is a game room for the guys. When they come around, they just come up here and have a little fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So our friend had to go, and he was just kind of filling in to talk about your art with me. So I'm just saying a thank you to Frosty for joining us tonight. He's one of my
Thank you very
promoters.
much.
He's the one that helped make all the promotions for you tonight, David. So we're gonna
I
let him
saw, I,
go. But I'm just so excited about this. So do you paint this? Is this like acrylic paint?
yes, it is. It's acrylic. So we paint on the walls first. We do the wall paintings first, and then we
Mm-hmm.
draw over the walls, and then we do the acrylic. We paint first, we paint again, and then we paint the third time to give it depth. Like the one with the 8 on it, we had to paint with a lighter color of gray first, and then we painted over it again the second time, and then we added a touch of black to give it that lighting at the end, and then a darker part by the other side. So we paint over it. We paint on the color over and over again to get this.
Yes. Oh, that's fantastic. I love doing mural work. I love it.
Mm.
That's what I was saying
Yeah,
in the
thank
beginning
you.
is I've done a few murals myself, and it's different because all of a sudden, instead of painting something like this size, it's like that's how that alone is the size of just maybe it could be an eye depending on how big the mural is. But it's fun,
Yeah,
isn't it? And it just livens up a
yeah,
whole house.
true. Because unlike a mundane color, you just come in and then it's just white and bare. For a room
Hmm.
that you're coming to have fun and you're trying to put activity there, it just makes sense that someone comes in and they are looking at the walls and they already know that, yeah, this place, we are here to have fun. And the
That's
room
right.
is not just dry. I can just look around and I'm seeing things already. Even before I start playing any games, I already know that, yeah, this is what I'm coming here to do. So that's just the
That's
idea.
right. I love it. I love it. Are you
Yeah.
planning on doing more of these in your future?
Yes, I am. I want to have a better knowledge. I want to get my own tool sets because right now I'm just working with different people. So I just want to get a broader knowledge of it, have a little more experience, and then I branch out on my own and start doing it consistently.
Hmm. That's right.
Yeah.
And you know what, you guys can all help him when you go follow him. If you help buy his work, then we can get him all. You get more stuff so he can do this kind of stuff, on his own. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a great little business
Thank you.
too.
Mm.
You're welcome.
I can
Absolutely fun.
Yeah. Thank
Go
you.
ahead. Go ahead. Man, you went through a series here too, because I know that you focused on certain parts of the body. We saw the eye, and now we see
Mm.
the lips. And so I just love that you stopped to say, you know what, I'm going to pay some attention just to this body part and highlight this. And I think this is beautiful. I think it's a great job. So tell us about this.
This was part of a Twitter trend where artists were showing how they draw lips. But initially, the idea of this particular one was still me trying to learn how to give highlights to a drawing, especially the lip. Like I said, whenever something is difficult for me, I just go back and I try to look at videos. I try to watch how other artists have done it, and then I try to incorporate it in my work. So I was just looking at a way to make the lip in my drawings more realistic, to have more depth, and then to have better lighting. So I watched a couple videos. I looked for materials that I could use to create light, to create darker shades, and to create lighter shades. And then I did this. And meanwhile, they were just doing the Twitter trend, I just put this picture up, and that's why you have this.
I love it. I think it's a
Yeah.
great practice too, guys. When you're going to do a full portrait or a painting, is to have a few studies on just certain, body parts. So, eyes and nose, and then you get to really know how well that will turn out, what doesn't turn out. And you do this so well. Everyone
Yeah.
is saying, well, this is amazing, absolutely amazing. He's been drawing since high school. He said secondary school, but we here in the States will call it high school, guys. So he's been drawing since then. And then, did you ever go to college for art, David?
I almost did.
Awesome.
I started out in a basic program for art, and when I finished that basic program, I had an admission to study fine art. But where, like I said, in Nigeria, a lot of parents here don't appreciate the value of some of the arts,
Right.
like music, like cooking, like fine art in itself. So my dad was kind of worried that why would I go to school to study
Mhm.
art? How do I want to manage and even be
Right.
successful as an artist here in Nigeria? So he kicked against it. So I did not
That's right.
study art in school. Yeah.
I that's the same here, by the way, because they're like, you never know. You may make it, and next thing you know, you sold a painting for millions of dollars, right? But until that moment, I mean, even thousands or hundreds, but until you get known, it's a struggle. And most of us artists here also, I mean, we always have another job. I was, as a chef, and I had restaurants, and then I went to school for education and became a teacher. And on my side, I create artwork, because my
Yeah.
parents were probably the same way as every other parent. How are you going to pay the bills?
Exactly, because
Right?
you cannot go outside. You need to have something doing, and you don't always want to rely on your parents too, because you
Mm-hmm.
also have to be part of the. You're growing up, and as much as you want to rely on yourself too, there's a point to get to that your parents too will kind of rely on you. So you cannot be a burden to
That's right.
yourself and also to them. So it's important that as much as you want to be an artist, you branch out sometimes, try to do one or two things here to support the art because here I don't know if it's general, but here as an artist, if you don't have something on the side helping to support the brand, sometimes it's very difficult because the prices of things are crazy. And if you have not had a
Yes,
commission or you have not had your work bought before, and you're doing new works every day, you're buying paper, you're buying pencils, you're trying to update your materials every day, that's a lot of money you're putting in. And if you're not getting anything back, it's very, very difficult to keep going. Sometimes people just
it
crash
is.
out and they stop. So
Mm-hmm. It is expensive. I mean, and it's gotten more so. The canvases are more expensive, the paper, materials, my oil paintings have gone up. I get that. It's very expensive. And so yeah, we support the arts, guys. We need it because there's a lot of money and time that goes into this, and
yeah,
we all want to do it for a living. But yes, support real artists. One thing you may have not seen this, but I was sharing one thing I really love about your account, David, is you're always sharing little notes about the wonderful thing about being an artist. And I saved a few of these and put them in the presentation. And this is our last one here too. Your making art was always a part of God's plan for you. I don't know where you find these
yeah.
little pictures, but I thank you for putting those out there on X because I see them and share them. And I think it's
Welcome.
just beautiful. And everybody, right? Making art was always a part of God's plan for you. Isn't that great? Just love
Very
it. So
great.
thank you for that. Keep doing it. Keep
Yeah,
doing it.
thank
All
you.
right. You're welcome. Tell us about this gentleman. Wow. Beautiful.
This was a collaboration with my friend. He he's
Really?
an artist, but he he finds it very difficult to keep up with the idea of constantly trying to create something because, like I said, it's very, very difficult, especially when you don't have the materials and the things that you require. So I just reached out to him and I was like, come, let's do something together. And this, we drew a celebrity. His name is Labyrinth. He's an American artist. We just came together. We did this. We did this in less than 5 hours. We finished this work. So we just I did the skin, some part of it. He did the hair and a little highlight on the skin. So we just did this little collaboration together.
Wow. That is really amazing. Is he a singer? Because I don't know who this is.
He's a singer. His name is Labyrinth. He's an American musician.
Okay. Okay.
You can check
Gotcha.
him out.
Okay. I'll have to look into that. I will.
Mm.
It's very striking. There's another reason I love this picture here too, because yeah, I love it too, guys. Isn't this awesome? It's sometimes we always like to see how things are created. So when you guys, it's like, how do you get such a clean border, or how do you, not get the paper to ripple? It's because of this. And so when you can see that you can you put masking tape on your borders, right? So that it kind of gives you a freedom to be able to create without, you can go all the way to the edge, but sometimes we like us artists like to have a clean border. So this is a great way to hold your paper down, and then the masking tape comes off and you've got a beautiful clean space. So I thought that was another thing for you guys who are watching and don't know. It was a great little process piece for us to see as well too. But it is beautiful. Look at everything about this, from the earring to the highlights to the glows and on his lips and his cheeks. This is beautiful, David.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know that charcoal can be very, very dirty. And if you don't have these borders around it, sometimes it overlaps and gets into places that you want to have something else or you want to leave clean. So it's important that you always create this borderlines to keep out the dust. Because even when you shade over it and you blow off the dust, these things help keep the dust outside rather than inside the work, you know.
Right?
So
I know. How do you like working with charcoal versus pencil?
yeah,
Do you like
I'm
charcoal
still
better or pencil better?
I just started working with graphite, and I prefer it to charcoal. But the thing is with works that are dark, with works that, especially when you're drawing blacks like us, is always best to do it with charcoal. But if you're not good with it, you would spiral, and sometimes you just crash out because it can be very tedious to work with. And because of the thickness of the charcoal, sometimes if you cannot manage it well, you do too much on your work and then you end up not liking what the result is. So except you have studied enough and you've practiced enough with charcoal, you can find it very difficult. I'm still learning how to use charcoal myself. Sometimes I even get scared to put too much charcoal on the work because I don't want it to be too much and I don't want it to overlap in where I want light areas. So that's why sometimes I like to work with graphite. But I love charcoal. I love it.
Right? I love it too. I'll tell you, yes and no. I don't like the mess of it, but I love the
Yeah.
way it comes out, the blending, the darkness and whatever. But yeah, it is really a messy material, but also a fairly cheap one if you're, worried about budget, but it can be messy. Um, but it does wonderful things as we can all see. This is just so beautifully done. How fun though to do a collaboration. Do you like that?
I even I look forward to more collaborations because like I said, there are a couple of artists that just need someone to reach out to them to just speak to them because a lot of them because of the way the market is, because of the way the art is not really appreciated, they
Mhm.
go into the work and eventually they just crash out, they stop because they are not getting the attention that they need, they are not getting
I know.
the the
Oh, I've
the,
been
the
there.
interest.
Mhm.
So sometimes they just need somebody to pull them in, tell them, look, we can do this, let's just do this, let's do this, because you don't know the
Right.
work that will just put you out there. Something that you did with somebody can just be your breaking point, and all of a sudden you're just in the face of people. And
Exactly.
also with the invent of graphic designs and digital works, it's always fun to try to collaborate with traditional artists. We draw, you put some finding details in computer. So collaborative works too are very great because it allows you to express yourself in different ways. So I love it very much. I do.
Nice, nice. And you're so right about this because you guys, even me, I mean, I don't do a lot of artwork because I'm the same. I'm like, okay, it's not really going anywhere. I need to get to some more museums. I need to get to some shows or, but this is why I started promoting. And this is why I promote others because if I'm feeling that, I know that you're feeling that because I'm not getting seen or I'm not. That's why I always say that, make sure that you guys tag me and make sure everybody's sharing because in a huge world, of different social medias and whatever, you may not even get seen. And then you get so
Yeah, true.
frustrated. So I understand what you're saying a lot on that.
On someone
Amazing.
else's platform, be a stepping stone. So it's important to.
Mm-hmm. It is absolutely important. Who is this young man?
This is my junior brother. This is the last born of the house.
The baby of
Yeah.
the house. I love how you call him my junior. That's awesome. Right? Oh, nice though. I guess it's great to have family members and friends as, Have I do have a question for you. Have you ever painted anything that wasn't portraits? Do you ever do
Uh,
landscapes or
I, I I did something that seemed like a landscape, but I most of my work is portraits. Most of my works are portraits.
yeah.
I don't I think maybe one or two that might be landscape, but most of my work is portrait.
Well, you do it so well. I mean, when you've
Yeah,
got a talent at something, keep going because this is awesome. Is there
yeah.
a reason that you kept half the face in the light, in the bright, and defined, and the other half kind of in the shadow? What made you choose
Oh,
that?
this is not complete. This is not the complete drawing. The
Oh,
drawing is actually
it's not.
complete. This is not complete.
Okay.
This was
I
a test.
thought, okay, this is a work in progress piece that I got, everybody. Sorry about that. My bad. I thought this was a choice. I was like, oh, this has got to mean something. But this is, look at, just so this is kind of how you start, though. This is a great example of how you start and then you do with the erasing and the highlights to define those details.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. That's just really awesome to even look at, guys, because you can see where it starts. And then on the one side, you can see how it finishes. Absolutely
Sure.
amazing. Wow. I know. Isn't it? I agree with you guys. It is just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And sorry I didn't get the right one at the completion, but to some extent, I like to see the process of your work as well. So I'm kind of happy we got to see this. And how much black, look at that, guys, how much black has to go into that. And then it's reduction, right? To bring out those
That's
whites and beautiful highlights.
a lot of
That's got to
charcoal
be the
used there.
hardest part. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Especially with the blending, when you have to use so much charcoal, you need to also manage the blending process because it can be very tedious. You don't want to use your hand sometimes because it gets messy. You want to find another medium like tissue, cotton buds, or cotton wool, or maybe brushes too.
Right.
So
Right.
the process of
Exactly.
using charcoal is very intense. Very intense.
Right. I know about that too. And you got to watch out. Sometimes I put a paper towel down because I have a tendency to lean my hand on something as I'm doing something, and then
Mm,
your whole arm, right?
so
So, right. Charcoal gets everywhere, everyone.
mm,
But this is beautiful, David.
yeah,
Oh,
thank
okay.
you.
So now we've got the eyes, we've got the lips, and now we've got the hands. So this is your study on hands, huh?
This was also a challenge. There's a full drawing. This is a full drawing, but I used this to be part of a Twitter challenge. They were talking about how you draw hands, the way they talked about the lips. So this was just me showing my presentation of a hand drawing. But there's a full picture. This is a full picture. I just screenshotted the hands to just show how
Right.
I draw my own hand. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you go to practice, because he's pretty much a self-taught artist, everyone. So when you go to practice, do you like look at your own hand, or you have somebody model and take it? Do you take photos so that you can look at it, or do how do you go about accomplishing like a hand or an eye when you're first starting?
Like I said, I did a little bit of basic education in art when I started.
Right.
Well,
Oh,
before I got into university, there were these few, I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks where they were just teaching
models.
us the basic of, and we started with drawing people that we see, still drawings,
Mm-hmm.
and they told us
Yes.
to draw our hands. So the part of the
Nice.
first drawings I did was drawing my hand in different ways. When I position my hand, I do them widespread, standing, sideways. So I use that as a reference point to almost every hand drawing I do. But it's also still particular for the kind of hands you're drawing because some of the hands
Right.
now can be very dark, can be very light. This one now has nails. Some might not have nails. Some are. So the hands are different. So the way you approach them are actually quite different. But that one helped me to understand the way you approach drawing hands. It's just
That's right.
basic practice.
Fantastic. And I've got a surprise for you guys at the end too. So this is, I think, our last one. And so just so much. This one I think has a lot of this story because this person is crying, right? And so I really went. This one really captured me when I saw it. Out of all your numbers, this one personally is my favorite because the emotion that goes with this one. If you could tell us a little bit about this.
This one is my favorite too. And
Is it?
this one, yeah, this was the last of the series I did. And there's a lot of things that's been going on women and how their lives have been impacted by the decisions that a lot of people make. So I
Mm-hmm.
looked for where a lady was crying, and I just used that to express the strength that women hold, even with the pains that they go through, the pains of childbirth, the pains of puberty, and every other thing that goes with being a woman, and how strong a woman can be, even in all those inadequacies, in everything that you have to go through. You know, being who she is. Sometimes women are they are looked at as the lesser vessels, but they can be very, very strong. They can be very powerful human beings. They can do so much even when they are giving much less. They are not appreciated enough, but they still try their best to
Oh.
do as much. So that's why this drawing was made, just to express the importance of the strength of women even in their pain. So that's what I did here.
Mhm. You did such a great job. And what a great honor to women, my friend. You're over here I'm going, aw, your love for women and that you wanted to highlight that. That is beautiful. Oh, this piece
Yeah,
is
thank you.
phenomenal. Everything about it looks like, to me, this is one of your most photorealistic pieces here. Even though we have the six over it, you guys, look at the details in her face, right? You can see just not even just the tears, but the nose, the lips, her eyes, just fantastic. You can see the pores, every eyelash, every eyebrow hair. I mean, just fantastic. Now, is this a real person? Is this someone you know?
No, I do not know this person. I saw a very, very attractive picture of a lady, and she just had the perfect
Okay.
emotion, had the perfect fit for this. So I just took that picture as a reference and I worked with it.
Nice. Oh my gosh, I just love this so much. You guys, yes, I see you're lighting up the chats too. Isn't it just phenomenal? Absolutely
Yeah.
phenomenal. Just love it. Okay, we're getting all these wonderful compliments, right? I know, guys. I could geek out on this one so much. This is so beautiful. Just so beautiful. Do
Thank you.
you Yes, you're welcome. Do you plan on doing more numbers in your future?
I'm not done. I'm not done with the series. I think it goes
You're
up
not
to 10 because I already have
okay.
I have what I do is I write down the stories I want to tell, and then I
Hmm.
go out and find pictures that match my story, and then I find a way to just incorporate them in my numbers. These numbers go up to 10, and then
Okay.
in between I want to do special numbers. I like to make sure that people see these numbers and want to have their personalized
Hmm.
drawings in the number, and then I just find things that match what they want and the numbers
Right.
that will match the whatever thing that they like. So, but I'm not done with this
Fantastic.
yet.
I look forward to it. I look forward to it. This piece is absolutely phenomenal. Just
Yes.
magnificent. All right.
Thank
We
you.
got a few more here, guys. This one is so like abstract and mystic. I wanted to know all about this piece.
Well, this was, I think this was last year. I finished this
Hmm.
in January. I saw a model on X, and the picture was just there are pictures that you see as an artist, and you cannot just go past them. This was one picture. I saw
Right.
this picture and I was like, I wanted to work. I wanted to do something with it. Um, and I just thought, why would I just draw the whole face and then send it back to the person? It looks like I'm just copying what I just saw. So I just thought of something more elaborate, more something that has a deeper meaning. And
Mm-hmm.
I came up with the face coming out of the water, to
Mm-hmm.
just the beauty of, again, women, and how powerful they can be, the power that God has given to them, and the gravity of the beauty that they hold. And that's what this picture is. I just tried to express that with this.
Right. And the eyes, the way you did the eyes though too, just have this, this mysterious, ness to about it. You did the water also beautiful, but you could see the expression and the details in her face. I mean, absolutely just amazing. And I agree. This is crazy cool. That's what they said. This one is really awesome, isn't it, guys? I know. You're like, what? So unique.
I think it's
Right. And
not
again, go ahead.
I said the picture was just too nice to pass on. I just had to do something with it.
Right? I have some of those too that inspire me. I have a few that are like that too. And I'll see something, and my picture may not even turn anything like it, but there's something in it just goes, oh, I can't pass this up, and I've got to try, my take on it. And I don't know the original, but I love yours. And I just look at those, just amazing. And you guys can see the reflection too of her coming out of the water as well. If you guys look closely, there's so much going on in this piece. You can see the wetness of her face coming out of the water. You just did this so wonderfully. How long did this piece take you?
It took me about 3 weeks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Weeks. And somehow I think
Mm-hmm.
I blame, because sometimes when I draw, I like to just bask in the work. Sometimes I just draw and I keep it. Every day I go and look at it, and I'm like, I've gotten somewhere that I've not gotten before, and I've done something that I've not done before. So sometimes I just work, I stop, I look at the work for some days. I'm just looking at it. I'm just admiring the work. So sometimes that's the reason why it takes me a long time to finish. So that's why it took me 3 weeks to do this, because I do and I keep. I just look at it sometimes.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I totally understand though. Sometimes you're amazed. I mean, come on, artists. I know you guys are, that all of a sudden you're creating something. You're like, I created that. This is turning out really
Yeah,
good, and you do. I love it. He says, I bask in the work. Right? I have a few pieces like that too. That I
every point
but
sometimes.
say that again. Sorry, you cut out, hun.
Every artist has that one moment. They do something that
Mhm.
they've not done before. You get to a point in your
That's right.
journey. You're doing something that you don't even imagine that you can do. So sometimes you just sit and look at your work and like, hmm, I don't believe that I can do this. It's surprising to you.
Right. Right. And like the talent that God gives us, and when it just comes shining through, sometimes you're like, wow, I didn't know I had that in me. I understand.
Definitely.
Oh, this is a powerful, magnificent piece as well. Dang,
Thank you
crazy
very much.
awesome. You're very
Yeah.
welcome. And you guys, I asked if he ever painted something different. This is probably this, and the one I'll show you after this is done is the only two that I've seen it. It's just, but this one has no people in it. And I was like, this is really interesting. I know this is one of your newer pieces that you've done the beginning of this year. So it's
Yeah.
just awesome. You know, I love it. So tell us about this one.
This particular one is, although I'm not a chess player and I have zero idea about chess, but this work explains a quote of a famous person in 1995. His name is James Dean, and that quote was,
Mm-hmm.
"Live, dream like you live forever, and live like you die tomorrow." So this speech, just like it shows, you have the king on the ground, and you have the pawn standing, you have the queen there. He now is defeated.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just expressing
That's
the,
right.
as much as you're big, no matter the kind of power that you hold, no matter how influential you are, no matter how powerful you are in society, we all have one life as human beings. And the moment that life goes, all of that influence, all that power dies with you. And the
That's
one
right.
that's left standing is the person that's living. They say a living dog is better than a dead lion. You that has life, you have the opportunity to achieve anything. You that is living, you have the opportunity to be at the pinnacle of your career, of business, of education. You can do anything. But the one that is dead, his game is finished, his life is finished. So it just expresses that quote: live,
Right.
dream like you live forever, and live like you die tomorrow. That's what this one
Yes,
is.
I love that. Live right. I like that. The live like you might die tomorrow. You might as well do it. I always say that too. You're already
Dream like you
go ahead.
live forever. Live like you
Yes,
die tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yes, because you never know. I always say one of my favorite things is you're already at a no. If you do nothing, nothing will happen. So it's basically like a no. But you never know, and so you got to live like your life to your fullest because you never know when that next day might not be. And you might as well live it to your absolute fullest and ability. What a great
Yeah.
representation! Nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice. Love it. And they're loving the king, right? Just amazing. The the black in that, it's just fantastic. Oh, I love it.
I
So amazing
work
work.
on
But
yeah.
amazing. All right, I'm going to remove this for 1 second, David, because I want to talk about your last piece here. I want to show, and I wasn't able to get this. I just saw this earlier. Where is it at? Okay, come on, there it is. This is your latest piece, correct? This one right
Yeah,
here.
this is my yes.
How interesting is this one? I was like, you caught and rendered this so well with, just lighting a napkin on fire. But look at how well this is rendered. I don't know if I can get this any bigger, guys. Probably not. Sorry. Let's see if I can. Nope, that's about all I can do there. All right. But this is so beautiful. And I was like, what an
Mm.
interesting subject. You find some amazing things. It's just a beautiful rendition of a hand that's lighting a napkin.
Yeah.
From what I see, yeah, napkin on fire. Just amazing. And behind it, guys, there's so much going on in here too, because look at like the linen or whatever is sitting behind the napkin, and you can see the folds and where it bevels and everything. I mean, just so beautiful. Um, so how did you come up with this idea?
With this, I was just outside, right? And I was playing with a lighter because this is my hand. I was playing with a lighter and I just I cannot even remember what came to my mind. And all of a sudden I was lighting the lighter. I was trying to get the fire on and I burnt something and I did not just like the way the flame was on that one. So I went and got a paper and there was a cloth behind a big, it was like a match, it was like a bed sheet. So I put a
Right?
clip over it, I put the cloth, and then I held the piece of paper up, and then I lit the lighter, and the fire came out. So before the paper burnt, I took a picture, and then I went and drew this.
Nice. I love it. How interesting. How cool is that, right? Real life kind of experience of something you're doing, but you're capturing the flame, the light that's coming from that, the piece of paper that's on fire and seeing it being rendered. I mean, just look at the details in the hand. We saw his handwork earlier. This has gotten so much better. I swear you get better and better with each piece, David.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
just love it. You're very welcome. And I have one other question on this. Is this on a textured piece of paper, or is that your texture that you've added to that?
No, it's mine. This is the paper is white. The
Oh, just
background
normal
on it
paper.
is just an edit. I put it over a sheet of paper and then I took that picture so that it can
Nice.
be centralized. I didn't want to get a full picture of this. I wanted it to be in a center. I wanted to highlight it in the center. So I put it over a big frame of paper and then I took this picture.
Nice. And I just love it because sometimes when I'm looking at the texture, he's created that. Because sometimes that comes from, a certain kind of paper, but this is just a regular drawing paper. Then he's created all the beautiful texture on this piece. Isn't it phenomenal, everyone? Absolutely phenomenal. Your work, my friend, is fantastic. We have enjoyed this so much.
Yeah.
I am so glad that you were able to join this show with me, and I know it's early in the morning for you, and I thank you so much for doing this. I always want to leave with one thing. If you can inspire others, and two questions. I'll let you finish with inspiring others, but we need to support you. So tell us all. We can follow you on X. I know that for sure, but where else can we follow you, David?
Well, you can follow me on Instagram at the same handle, Dave the Artist, and I have a page. I have I put my work on an NFT site. I think Object. I have works on Object too, so I put my link on my X bio, so you can check my bio under my link tree. You see my Object account where you can pick up a piece or two if you're interested.
That's right.
So that's
FC Barcelona. He's got his link tree here as well. I'm going to put this also in right here. Everything. This is his link tree, but everything you can go find it on X, everyone. And make sure you guys are doing so. Please, please, please give him a follow. I want to see him grow. And share is so important, right? All of us artists. It's really important, you know, so that we get seen. And we want social media to be a beautiful space anyway, right? Not always about news. Let's beautify it. I agree. He does do amazing work. All right. Now, your last question is, if you could inspire someone else who might be thinking about being an artist or anything like that, what would you say to them? And I think you did it really well with the life thing, you know, you never know when it ends tomorrow, but what else would you like to say to inspire others?
Well, I would say we are all made in God's image, right? And the fact that God was able to create human beings as the pinnacle of his creation, and he gave us a gift to be able to also make, like, we can make representations of this human that we are. You know, some people are able to do sculptures, some can paint, some can draw, some can make things with clay. And we have this gift that is similar to what God did with human beings. I'll tell any artist out there that with this kind of gift that you have, it just brings you closer to God, because you're just expressing who he is in your life. So nobody should tell you that you're not good enough. Nobody should tell you that your work is not great, because everything is through practice. We do not just wake up one day and then you become the artist that you are. Is years of work, is years of practice, is years of watching other people do it. Nobody just got perfect the first time they tried. You try, you fail, you try, you fail, and then one day you get to where you want to be. So if you're interested in being an artist, just try to see yourself as a symbolic tool that God is using to still express himself, because he has expressed himself with us, and we can express ourselves by doing what he has given us to do as a gift. So don't ever let anybody talk you down.
That's right. Amen to that. Oh, it's so nice to meet you, even though I know you through social media. It's just so nice to have you here. And if you ever want to come back in a few months and show off new work, you can come back anytime. I know, and everybody, a huge thing for him to be up in the middle of the night, coming all the way from Nigeria, but I appreciate you. And I'm so glad you let me honor you tonight. So thank you for being my guest.
Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. Oh, anytime. Yes. Okay. Fantastic. We will get it scheduled. I'm going to let you go to sleep now. I hope you have a beautiful Sunday, my friend, and go have a great time. You're going to go see that pastor today, right?
Yeah, I will see.
Yeah. Nice. All right. God bless, my friend, and have a great night.
Yeah, thank you. God bless you too.
All right. Good night. Wasn't that awesome? Oh my gosh, that was so awesome. Love it. Oh, you guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Make sure you guys are all going and giving him a follow and sharing his work, right? It was just amazing. We just highlighted him as Artist of the Day a few days ago. So if you haven't seen that post on X, make sure you go and like and share that one out as well. But how awesome is it? Don't we love Artist Corner International? right? With guests that come all over the world. We've had people from Nigeria, from Iraq, from Taiwan, from Australia, from the States. This is what makes our group so amazing. And I love to highlight you guys so much. It's truly something that I enjoy every single day. So make sure you guys are joining our groups, right? Whether it's a group on Truth or it's a group on X. Well, it's not on X anymore, but go follow ArtistCornerTS. We just started over on Pilled. Wasn't that just awesome? Absolutely awesome. So before we leave, oh, Cask, you're welcome. You're welcome. And thank you, Frosty, for jumping in and helping me out in the beginning of the show, my friend. I can always count on my wonderful mods, and they're the greatest. Everyone give Frosty some extra love today for that. But we didn't do this at the beginning, and I so forgot because today's Saturday. What is wrong with me, right? But we have a shout out, and I just saw her in the chat, and I hope she's still here. But you guys, I'm telling you, every single day I highlight an artist of the day. And what's really matters, another reason why you need to like, share, and comment, because each one of those counts as a vote. What I say, votes. So if you comment, it's a vote. If it's a share, it's another vote. If it's a like, it's another vote. So if you like, share, and comment, it's 3 votes just from you guys. And that gets tallied up to be our artist of the week. So that's why it's so important, you guys, that you share out those artists of the days, because we tally them up. So we want to show our artist of the week. So, and I know I saw her, but this week goes to Artsy Girl. And I know that Karen was just in the chats, but isn't this awesome? I'm bugging her. I'm like, she's got to come on the show. We got to bug her some more. But let's do a huge round of applause for our artist spotlight of the week. Is called Artsy Girl over there on Truth. Got to get her over on. But oh my gosh, isn't this awesome? Absolutely awesome. So if you guys see this, I just shouted this out yesterday too. Make sure you guys go and give her a follow and a share. This is just the spotlight of the week, but your artists of the days are what get tallied up for. But a huge congratulations to our artist of the day. She's there. Oh, she's there. I was wondering if you'd still be here. Yes, Karen is still with us. Congratulations, my friend. We have got to get you on this show. You guys, her work is phenomenal. Got to bug her about getting on to X with us and joining us over there too. But if you guys are over there on Truth, come and join Artist Corner over there, and please give Artsy Girl a follow. All of her work is so amazing. Absolutely amazing. And like I said, I would love to have her on the show, but a huge congratulations to you. You are shout out every way, but yes, I'm so glad you got to catch the show. Your work is phenomenal, my friend. Absolutely phenomenal. So that is what we're doing, and that is so cool. I love it. And I'm glad that she was here to enjoy that moment. That's right. That's awesome. Frosty's already can't wait to see your show. Well, she's got to get signed up. I have openings in August. Let me know. All right. So tomorrow, you guys, is our resets, the Sunday reset. So tomorrow we are talking about great things, talking about how we live in this world and through all the turmoil and all the kind of crazy enough, right? How do we live in this devil's playground, and how do we get back to heaven? That's going to be our theme. How do we do it? We know how to do it. We do it through the wonderful teachings of Christ. But that's going to be our theme for tomorrow. And then we're going to do flourless desserts. So you guys are going to want to watch that for sure, as I give you a whole bunch of different options on flourless desserts. And then we're going to do some stories on hope, humanity before we leave. So you guys make sure you join me tomorrow at 7 p.m. I'll be putting the promotion out right after this show. So please help me share that out as well. I appreciate that so much. Don't forget to hit the like, follow, and share on this show. I appreciate that as well. And so does my guests, right? They really mean a lot to each one of the guests I have on. So best thing to do is by following me, and you could do so. You follow me on X at Lady Hamilton AR1. Don't forget to follow ArtistCornerTS. That's our new community. And it's growing. We got 250 people already following it over there. So good job, guys. If you are following, awesome. Don't forget to tag, right? Don't forget to tag me. I'll share you out everywhere. And so do my mods. You can follow me on Pilled, Truth, Gab, and Facebook at Ladyhamiltonart. Let's give some love to our moderators. Yes, they're absolutely fantastic. Let's give some love to the ones who are here with us today. A wonderful, beautiful Nancy. Thank you so much for joining us and being all over the place. We appreciate you, girl. Our Frosty Pimp for also co-hosting tonight for a little while. Thank you, my dear friend. Let's give him some extra love today. And then also we've got our JJRSBL. You guys can follow him on Truth, X, Gab, Pilled, Getter, and Rumble. Tri-Stater is on X and on Truth. Our beautiful Hockey is over there on X and on Truth. And both Nancy and Frosty are also on X and on Truth. X is where it's at, man. We are blowing that up with art. I'll tell you what. So give them all some love for being here with us today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Tonight, I'm going to leave you guys tonight with a song that's just going to be a little pep in your step, right? And, you know, I love it. I can't wait for him to come back as well. Just another great friend, another great musician, but don't we love it? Kevin Wynyard. So much fun. We're going to be leaving with his song. So you guys have a great little bop on your way out of here tonight called Let's Face the Music and Dance. All right, everybody. I will see you tomorrow night. And I'll see you in the socials right after this as I'm hitting up all kinds of things. We have our Artist of the Days always put out the night before, our good nights, and of course the promotion for tomorrow's show. So everyone have a great night. Don't forget to remember to be the light. All right, let's load up this song and have a great night. Let's face the music and dance. Everyone have a great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance. Before the fiddlers have fled, before they ask us to pay the bill, and while we still have the chance, let's face the music and dance. Soon we'll be without the moon, humming a different tune. And then there may be teardrops to shed. So while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance, dance. Let's face the music and dance. There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance. Before the fiddlers have fled, before they ask us to pay the bill, and while we still have that chance, let's face the music and dance. Oh, soon we'll be without that moon, humming a different tune. And then there may be teardrops to shed. So while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance, dance. Let's face the music. ended.